So I want to thank everybody for coming out to the Take Back Your Health conference. I personally took back my health about 20 years ago in 1996, and it was the best decision I ever made. And I know that you're all here because you are interested in taking back your health in some way, or you've already taken back your health and you're still inspired. So, acknowledge yourself and give yourselves a big thank you because you're in the right place. And today, I'm going to teach you guys how to increase your energy and vitality by nourishing your thyroid and your adrenals and your entire endocrine system. But before we get started, and that was great that you had everybody calm down, we're going to just get present, really present, because the more present that you are, the more information you can digest and absorb, right? You'll take the good that works with you and you'll leave the rest. So the way that you get present is very, very simple. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to literally feel your butt sitting in the chair. And some of you may feel more butt than others. Right? Just feel that butt sitting in the chair. Feel your spine in the back of the chair. And then I want you to just feel the energy in your toes. Wiggle them around a little bit. Wiggle your little toes. And then just take a breath. And if you can, bring your breath all the way down into your lower abdomen. And if you can't, if your breath stays up here, don't worry about it. Right? This is just habitual breathing when we breathe up into the chest. This is breath of fear. Right? And this is where a lot of people are breathing. So we want to be able to just bring that breath all the way down here. And you could keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes, but we're going to take about maybe 5 breaths. Okay? So deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in and exhale. Deep breath in. Exhale. Deep breath. Exhale. One more time, deep breath. And exhale. And again, just feel your butt sitting in the chair. You can open your eyes. And know that what you just gave yourself was the greatest gift that you can give your body and your mind. Because the mind, food for the mind is oxygen. And when we're not fully breathing into our body, we're not feeding our mind. So it'll lead to anxiety and stress. Right? So if you can, every day, just make sure you're breathing, fully breathing, because it's the best food for your mind. Okay? So now that we're all here, right? And now that we've all arrived, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my own journey into health and wellness, because it's a good journey. So this was, I guess in 1996, I was diagnosed with thyroid disease, plus I had a large goiter. And I went to the doctor's office because I had, my immune system kept crashing, I was exhausted, I kept, somebody would sneeze 5 miles away from me, I would get sick and stay sick for like 3 weeks, and I was like, what the hell is the matter with me? I always had a sore throat. And the doctor said to me, she said, listen, you have thyroid disease, and you need to take radioactive iodine to destroy the thyroid, and then we're going to give you Synthroid medication for the rest of your life. And red flags went up for me. Red flags. I don't want radioactive anything inside my body. Right? So 5 years prior, I had watched my mom go through the second coming of breast cancer. Yeah, and I saw what radiation and chemotherapy and those kind of very dramatic modern technologies, modern science does to the physical human body as well as the emotional, spiritual body. And so when I was sitting in the doctor's office and the doctor said, well, you need to take radioactive iodine, and I was like, no thanks, I'm going to try and change my diet instead. And the doctor said, your diet has nothing to do with your thyroid. Right? Yeah, it was only 1996. You may think, well, what was this, the early 1900s? So I said, well, before I decide, which I'm not going to decide to do, but before I take your medicine to destroy my thyroid, I'm going to change my diet, my lifestyle, and I'll be back. So I left the doctor's office with a focus on healing my body, because my focus for my entire life since the time I was 13 years old was on dieting. Right? Chubsy Upsy. Does everybody remember the Little Rascals? Oh, Miss Crabtree. there's something heavy on my heart. Chubsy Upsy was in love with the teacher. So I started my first diet at 13 years old because I saw on the magazine covers all of these skinny girls, and it said, you know, diet, you got to diet. So it was ingrained in my mind. Well, of course, you know, when I was 13, I was a skinny little thing, but I put myself on a diet, and guess what happened? I gained weight. I started dieting, and I gained weight. And I was like, why am I gaining weight? I don't understand this. I did no fat, low fat, sugar-free, fat-free, you name it, every kind of diet I was on, and I just kept gaining weight. And I was like, why is my body gaining weight? I would wake up in the morning, and I would get on the scale, and I would see what the scale would say, and then I would go to the bathroom, right? Insane dieting. And then I would do my business, and then I'd go back on the scale to see how much weight I lost. I know that I'm not the only one that did that. I was obsessed with losing weight. And, you know, when I wasn't pooping my way down the scale, I was throwing up. Right, which a lot of teenage girls do. They don't want food in the body because the food will make them fat. So I had this crazy dieting behavior. And all of that insanity of not giving my body actual nutrients, not giving it food, not giving it what it needed, set me up for a disease. Right? So when I changed my diet and my lifestyle, and I stopped eating all the no-fat, non-fat, sugar-free, chemical substitutes, all of the crap that I was eating, my body started to change. So in 4 months, I lost about 18 pounds, and I went back to the doctor's office. Not only did I lose weight, but I was sleeping at night. I was making it. I was going to bed, and I was waking up in the morning, which was a rare occasion. For years, I would go to bed, and I would wake up 3 to 4 times to urinate in the middle of the night, which shows that the body is breaking down, and it's releasing toxins. Right? If you're up urinating all night long, there's a weakness in here. Right? Weakness in the kidneys and the bladder. So my nails stopped spitting. You know, anybody have that little flaky nail, right? They stopped splitting. My hair stopped splitting. My face cleared up, and the weight started to come off. And I was feeling really good. And I go back to the doctor's office for another blood test. And she takes my blood, and she says, well, she goes, well, your thyroid levels have definitely changed. She said, but your thyroid's still not normal. She said, you got to take this medication. And I said, Doc, I said, you know, I get that you get that. I know that that's what you've been taught in medical school. But thankfully, I didn't go to medical school, so I have a different perspective. And I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing and give my body the nutrition and the love and the support that it needs. And then I'll be back, and I'll let you know what happens. So for the next 2 years, I continued eating well, taking care of myself, doing the things that I never used to do. And my body kept shifting. First it was hyperthyroid, and then it was hypothyroid, and then it was Hashimoto's, right? It was like this, like a pendulum. And then after 2 years, it became completely normal. Right? So it was here, and then it was there, and then it was here. So natural healing doesn't come after one magical cup of soup. That's not the way that it works. Right? People are always like, oh, give me the one thing that's going to fix everything. That's not the way that it works. So this picture was taken last year, and you can see the goiter never came back. My thyroid is normal. In that 2 years that I was going back and forth to the different doctors, because I kept changing doctors each time, each doctor recommended another medication for me. Because that's what they've been taught. That's what they know. It's not that they're bad people. Right? This is just what they've been taught. It's indoctrination, is that how you say that? Right? They've been indoctrinated into a system that says, okay, the body's not functioning right, we'll give this medication to stop the symptom. But then what happens when you stop the symptoms? The illness goes deeper into the body. Right? Because you're no longer presenting a symptom. So for me, the thyroid, and what I teach my students and my clients is your thyroid, when it's out of balance, this is the most wonderful thing because your thyroid is talking. It's saying, hey, this system is out of balance. Hey, we got to do something here, right? I need to slow down for a reason, or I need to speed up. Something's going on. So today, we're going to focus on the system as a whole, right? Because the thyroid is not a solo operator. It doesn't just work on its own. It's connected to an entire system in the body, right? So here we have the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus connects the nervous system to the endocrine system. So what happens if you're under a tremendous amount of stress? Hypothalamus is going to send the message down into the pituitary. Pituitary is going to say, hey, adrenal glands, let's go. Let's go. This person's under stress. We need some stress hormone, right? So that system's connected. And then we look at the pituitary. The pituitary is what they call the master gland. It's sending the messages. We need more of this hormone, more of that hormone, less of this hormone. And then we have our pineal gland. Now, I'm going to talk about the pineal gland later in depth. But in modern medicine, the pineal gland was considered to be an unnecessary gland. How many have learned that? Right? Not an important gland. This is one of the most important glands. All your glands are important, I'm going to tell you that right now. But this gland, according to the ancient sages, was your third eye, your connection to wisdom, intuition, the ability to know, right? This gland is talking to your entire endocrine system, and it's telling your body exactly where you are. And I'll get to that because it's very important to healing the endocrine system as a whole. And then, of course, we have the thyroid, and the thyroid's talking to the digestive system and to the liver, and it's saying, hey, listen, we need some more sugar going on here. We got to get some sugar into the cells because this person needs energy. So this is why a lot of people with thyroid disease present with blood sugar illnesses or blood sugar imbalances, as well as digestive problems, right? Because the thyroid's talking to those systems. Thymus, this is the immune system. So wait a minute, now we have the endocrine system is connected to the nervous system, is connected to the digestive system, is connected to the immune system, right? Because the thymus is where your immune cells are born, and it's where they go to study and learn how to be fighters. Right? So it's connected. So then we go to our adrenals, of course. This is the stress. What is this connected to? Nervous system, right? Right? So the whole thing is connected. And then your pancreas, this is part of the digestive system, right? We got to get some hormone out there to get the sugar into the cells so we can have energy. Because what is giving your cells energy? Glucose. Right? So the pancreas is releasing the insulin, so the insulin unlocks the cell and says, here you go, we need some sugar in there. And then our gonads, these are the reproductive organs. So like when women come to me and they're presenting with fertility issues, they're not getting their period anymore, maybe they have PCOS, or they have, they're unable to have a baby, or something's going on in here. That's because the whole system is connected. So what's been happening in modern medicine, and I guess it's because it's trendy right now, is to blame the thyroid. Oh, you're not getting your period? Oh, you're infertile? It's thyroid's fault. Let's give you Synthroid. But what this is telling us is that the entire system is out of balance. The entire system. Because this is a communication system. Every single gland is talking to every single gland is talking to every single system in your body. Right? So you remember when you were growing up and you had, the thigh bone's connected to the knee bone and the ankle bone's connected to the butt bone, or whatever it was, right? Right? But it's just telling you that your whole entire system is connected on many levels. So if one piece is out of balance, we have to look at the whole human condition. What's going on? Is the stress levels high? Is the digestive system not functioning well? Right? What's going on in this person's life? Are they eating food not designed for their body? Right? So we're going to cover all of this today. We're going to cover how to keep this system balanced as well as some of your other systems. And I know it sounds like it's going to be a lot, but I'll make it really easy. That's what I like to do. I like to make it easy because I know that the easier it is, the more people are going to go and actually do it. right? The harder I make it, people go, I can't do that. That's way too much for me. What do you want me to cook 3 meals a day and snacks? Forget it. McDonald's, Pizza Hut. Okay, so the first thing that you want to do to nourish the endocrine system and the body as a whole, and I know that I'm speaking to the choir here, is to eat clean, naturally organic foods. Naturally raised, clean, no pesticides. Pesticides, herbicides, and fungicides, endocrine disruptors. They're endocrine disruptors. There's not even a doubt. Right? This is all scientifically proven. So the adrenals and the thyroid live where? On the endocrine system. So if we're taking in endocrine disruptors, something's going to be out of balance in here. Something's going to be out of balance. So the next time that you're at the store, you see this guy completely covered head to toe in protective gear as he's spraying those pesticides. So the next time you're at the store and you're contemplating, well, should I get the organic apple or should I get the conventional apple? I just want you to close your eyes for 1 minute and just picture this guy completely covered from head to toe spraying that pesticide. And I always have clients and students that say to me, but can't I wash it off? What do you think? No. Yes, you can't, because the pesticide is on the inside. Because this little plant, the apple tree, is going to use the water. It's going to absorb it into the roots, and it's going to go onto the inside of the plant. So the pesticide is just as high on the inside. So you could use turpentine, right? You could use apple cider vinegar spray, right? That's what I hear all the time. What if I sprayed it with apple cider vinegar? No, because it's on the inside. So when you can, when you're thinking, well, what should I do? Just picture this guy. There's a reason why he's covered head to toe like that. Right? There are even some pesticides. They had methyl bromide replaced methyl iodide as a pesticide. I think it's a fungicide. Whatever it is, it's pretty bad. Right? So they replaced it because it was deteriorating the ozone layer. Right? So they took it out of the food supply and they replaced it with methyl bromide. But methyl bromide contributes directly to thyroid cancer, reproductive cancer, infertility. Right? So we have this stuff in our food supply and it's not necessarily good for us, but it's there. It's there. So we just have to learn how to weed through it, so to speak. And I always tell people, spend the money on stuff that's important. I'm going to teach you guys how to save money so you're not going broke. That's the other question. People say, well, how can I do this? I can't spend all my money on food. But I'm going to tell you why you should. Okay, so eat wholesome foods. So these are all of the foods in the spectrum. We have, grains, beans, vegetables, fruits, meats, animal proteins. We have everything, right? This is the food of human beings. This is the food that's been eaten for centuries. This is wholesome, natural foods. And it's important to eat clean and eat wholesome foods because this apple, right? So if I were to eat this apple, it gets digested and absorbed and assimilated by me, and then my body excretes the waste. So I literally become this apple. Me, Andrea, I am walking, talking, breathing food. Now, if that wasn't the case, if this apple did not become me on a cellular level, it would look like this on the way out. You guys all got that? But you can see that it's very different on the way out. So we're going to make sure that you know that what you're eating is becoming your body on a cellular level. So when you're healing the endocrine system and when you're healing the body, eat wholesome foods as much as possible. That means eat brightly colored food, not food that comes out of brightly colored packages like this. Right? So you can see there's color here. There's color here. Right? So people always say to me, well, I go shop at the Whole Foods and they come home with a package that looks like that, right? Because you can get organic Cheerios and organic Pop-Tarts and organic this and organic, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you, right? It's highly refined, denatured, So when you're eating like this, you're getting the most wholesome foods in its whole form, good for the body. Your body's going to take what it needs. It's going to excrete the waste. And takes a little more to prepare. But this is, remember I said you are what you eat? This is fast, easy, and cheap. So if you are what you eat, let's keep that in mind. So in my practice, I also have many people that will take out whole entire food groups for specific purposes, right? So like I'll meet with paleo people, right? And the paleo people, they feel great in the beginning. Oh my gosh, I feel so great. I got so much energy. They said, but a year into it, I had a crash. My energy, wow, I died. I don't know what happened. I don't have any energy left. That's because an entire food group has been eliminated. A food group that has been in the human food supply for thousands of years. Grains, starches, right? There's ways to eat them to make them healthy. So what feeds the mitochondria? Does anybody know what feeds the mitochondria in your cells? Glucose, sugar. So one of the problems with the paleo diet, which is great in the beginning, is that it uses up all of your sugar, all the excess glucose that's in the body. That's one of the reasons why you feel great. And then the crash comes because now your body's working extra hard to turn everything into glucose. That's the way that we're set up, right? So then I'll have, let me give you a great example. Then I have vegan diets, right? Vegan clients come. And this is a book by one of my favorite authors, Andrea Beaman. She's even here at this conference today. So I have like vegan clients. They'll come and they'll take, all animal proteins out. And which is great. It's the most amazing cleanse, right? To take animal proteins, animal fats out of the diet, great cleanse. Because animal proteins and animal fats are builders. And vegetables and fruits are generally cleansers. Right? So if somebody goes, if they have, like I met a gal yesterday, so inspirational. She had uterine cancer, 30 days to live, right? In a hospice, raw foods diet, juices, perfect. Cleanse that body out, get everything moving, get those cells out of there. Eventually, the body's gonna need to be built back up in a healthy way. Healthy new cells, right? So I had a girl come to me, she was a young lady in her 20s, came for health coaching. Jennifer was suffering from hair loss and an underactive thyroid. She was much too young to be losing her hair. She said it was coming out in clumps, and the hair that did remain on her head was breaking and splitting. She had like a little hat, one of those little newspaper hats on. She refused to take the hat off. So I asked her when the hair loss began, and she told me about 8 months prior. And she also told me that she had transitioned to a raw vegan diet 1.5 years earlier. So I advised her that maybe it was time to reconsider the raw vegan diet and start eating some cooked foods and animal proteins, and she started crying. And she said, I can't eat meat. If I eat meat, I'm gonna die from cancer. All of the books I've read told me that eating meat is carcinogenic and bad for me, and I don't wanna die from cancer. And I said, I understand what your situation is. I said, at one point in my life, I was vegan too, and it's a fantastic way to cleanse the body. And it certainly gave me greater reverence for animals and how they're raised and treated. In the beginning of my vegan journey, I felt fantastic. But within a year, I didn't feel so well anymore. And I had to reevaluate what I was doing. So for the sake of my health, I had to reevaluate my diet. A vegan way of eating doesn't work for everyone and can lead to deficiencies in some people. And she started crying even harder. And she said, that can't possibly be true. All of the books I read couldn't all be wrong about the same thing. And as I was listening to her, I was reminded of a funny quote from Mark Twain, and he said, be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. So, I'm all for cleansing, cleaning. I'm also for building. So if someone comes to me and their hair is falling out and they're freezing cold, immediately I say, okay, you need bone stocks, you need a little more saturated fat, you need some proteins, properly cooked, not burned on the grill, right, which can be carcinogenic, but traditional foods, warming foods, right? So there's a time and a place for all of those extreme diets. But when you want your internal environment to get balanced, start to look at the way that human beings have been eating for centuries and start to put those foods back in. Once you get, you know, like so many times they'll go to the extreme and then they stay there for too long. So I remember when I was studying macrobiotics, there was a gal who healed her liver disease from using a strict macrobiotic diet. 10 years later, she was still on the same strict macrobiotic diet. 10 years later. And I used to see her at the macrobiotic potlucks, and she was all hunched over. She had liver spots everywhere. So the same diet that healed her in the beginning was killing her now, because she never widened out. She never got off the strict healing diet and never became more balanced. So this is something to be conscious of. There's a time and a place for those extreme diets, but generally, to get balanced, start to eat foods. Whole foods, all foods, less of these. This is the only one I don't want you to eat. Right? Stay away from this stuff. Say again?
Don't eat food in boxes.
Yeah, that's great. Don't eat food in boxes. Well, you know, it's just common sense. So here, let's talk about the pineal gland. Shop seasonally and eat locally. This is the greatest trend right now, right? Everybody's a locavore, eating local, seasonal. So this, cucumber, watermelon, and feta salad, and butternut squash puree with toasted pumpkin seeds, this is the same family of vegetable, right? It's the cucurbitaceae, if that's how you pronounce it, right? So watermelon, cucumber, and winter squash are all in the same family, except the cucumber and the watermelon grows when? Summertime. So energetically, what is that? Cold, watery, cooling, right? The butternut squash, this is going to be harvested now, right? What's the weather now? Cool. So this is actually more warming. It's more warming. So you could certainly, all year round, eat cucumber, watermelon, and feta salad, but it's going to throw your body out of balance, because right now, this is what's happening, right? This is what the body will really crave. So the pineal gland takes in light, right? It's your GPS. It lets you know exactly where you are. And it takes in light, and it says, okay, hey, listen, it's time to go to sleep. It's time to wake up. Let's slow this body down. Let's speed this body up. That's where your pineal gland is talking to this system. So food is transmuted light. Everything that you eat is light, right? This is getting sunshine. And the amount of sunshine that it gets is going to be sunshine in here. So I had a client from Canada who was freezing all the time. Freezing, oh my God. She said she hasn't been warm in 10 years, she said. And I said, okay, well, what are you eating? I already knew what she was eating. But I said, what are you eating? She goes, well, I wake up in the morning and I have a frozen blueberry smoothie. And then for lunch, I'll have a nice salad. You know, and dinner time, I'll have like maybe some chicken or some fish and another salad. And I'm like, where do you live? And she goes, Canada. And I said, okay, great. How much snow do you get? And she goes, well, sometimes we get 8 feet, sometimes 9 feet. I said, okay, here's what I want you to do. I would like you to try, instead of having a smoothie for breakfast, have some soup. Have some stock, right? Have something that's more warming to your system. And she goes, oh no, she goes, fruits and vegetables are good for me. I said, yes, they are, but not if you're living with 9 feet of snow. Right? That would be great in Hawaii. That would be great in South America, right? But up where she was, she needed more grounding, more warming, more nourishing, deep nutrition into her body to keep her warm. And one of the ways that you could figure out whether or not your system is functioning properly is, how do you feel? How do you physically feel? Are you feeling energetic? Are you feeling vibrant? If you're not, something's out of balance. So shop seasonally, eat locally. So in my CSA, I'm a member of a CSA up in New York, and a community-supported agriculture. I'll show you what that is. I'm sure you guys know what that is. Oh, well, let's go to that later. How was your food raised? Yeah, this is why I became vegan, right, in my early 30s, because I saw documentaries like this. Remember I said that the endocrine system, everything's connected, and to your nervous system and everything like that, and everything that you eat becomes you on a cellular level? Right? So if these chickens, which are born in captivity, these are layer hens. They're born in captivity. They stay in captivity their entire lives. They're literally slaves. These chickens are from Flying Pigs Farm, upstate New York. It's one of the farms that I love purchasing my eggs from. Totally different chicken. It's still a layer hen, right? But look at the crest. You see the crest? Bright red. Look at the crest on these poor little things. right? So these chickens are out in the yard. They have access to sunshine, bugs, fresh air, exercise. When I was there, when we took this picture, me and my husband, there was a rooster on the other side of the fence waiting to get to the ladies, right? So not only are they getting fed well in sunshine, but they're getting a little hanky-panky every once in a while, which is good for the system. Right? And these animals are not. So the stress level in these animals is going to be very high, as well as their health is not going to be good. So I don't want this energy inside my body, and I certainly don't want it in my food, because my food is going to become me on a cellular level. Right? So I want the chickens that are laying the hens, the chickens that are laying the eggs in a nice environment. They're getting everything that they need. That's what I want. This is fried rice and vegetables. Right? I don't want the chickens that are being abused, because I'm going to absorb that on a cellular level in my physical body and my emotional body. I'm going to talk about the emotional body. Everybody understands this, right? I know, it's right. Simple, easy. I want to make it as easy as possible. So a CSA, I've been a member of a CSA for 20 years. And in my CSA, a CSA is a community-supported agriculture. And maybe Joel Saladin talked about that yesterday. I'm not sure. But you could join a CSA, go to localharvest.org, put in your zip code, they'll tell you where the CSA is. A CSA, my CSA, I've never gotten a coconut or a banana. Right? So I don't need, people always say to me, Andrea, I don't know what's local and seasonal. And I always tell them, join a CSA or go to a farmer's market. Because the CSA and the farmer's market, they're going to be growing and harvesting the food that can grow in your area. So I never received a coconut or a banana. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't eat coconuts and bananas. I have them, but that's in my 10%. That's not in my daily food. So I had a girl in my Adrenal class last year. She was a young kid, 25 years old, and she was exhausted. And when I talked about coconuts, right, she said, oh my God, she goes, I've been having coconut in my smoothie every morning for the past year. She goes, in the beginning, I felt great. She goes, I can't even get out of bed anymore. Right? It was way too much potassium for her system, not balanced out by sodium for where she lived. So she was exhausted. She was completely exhausted. So a CSA is great because it's also the best way that you guys can save money. The best way. So I'll give you an example, and I also have handouts for you guys at my table. For the nearby health markets, all you have to do is pick it up, nearby health markets and your nearby farmers markets, so you understand what is available even in the wintertime. So here's another book by my other favorite author, Andrea Beaman. And, this is the best way for you guys to save money. I can't even tell you. So I pay $495, not including meat and eggs, for approximately 24 weeks of produce. That comes out to $20 per week for 2 bags of food that could include 2 onions, 1 bunch of carrots, broccoli Swiss chard, a head of cabbage, 5 sweet red peppers, 4 frying peppers, 3 eggplants, 2 jalapeno peppers, butternut squash, winter beets, fresh basil, 8 to 10 small potatoes, and 2 leeks, right? That's a large quantity of food for a small price. I could pay that same $20 for 1 meal and a cup of tea at a local restaurant, right? So yeah, so buying, you know, like when you go straight to the farmer, you're going to save money. So people always say to me, Andrea, I can't buy organic. It's too expensive. I can't afford it. Join a CSA. $500 a year. I pay for 6 months of produce. If I go to Whole Foods today, I will walk out of there with 2 bags, $500. So for the other 6 months, I just go to the farmer's market. I go to the farmer's market. I still shop at Whole Foods and all the other natural foods restaurant, natural foods places. But I'm very aware of what's growing in my environment. So in January and February in New York City, I'm not buying watermelon and bananas. Right? What am I getting? Roots, tubers, garlic, onions. Right? I'm getting more animal proteins and animal fats and stocks during the wintertime. These are old-fashioned foods that fell out of flavor in when women went into the workplace in the 1930s and 40s. All of those recipes, like women used to go, and I'm not just saying women, men too, but the women were the homemakers. And with them, they had amazing recipes. Amazing recipes. And when they all went into the workplace, men went off to war, and the women, Rosie the Riveter, remember her? Come on, girls, you can do it. And they put all the women into the factories. They never went back home. They stayed out. They said, you know what, we're going to do this, and we're going to take over the world, and we're great, which we are. But this is one area, right? When you cook for your family, this is one area where you can really excel and make them healthy. So here's something you can do to save money as well. I live in New York City, so this isn't a reality for me, right? I pay the farmers. But if you plant a garden, if you have a front yard or a backyard, make a little space to plant a garden. And there was a guy here yesterday. Let me see. Him and his wife were here. Yeah, they teach you how to grow your food. Growing your own organic food made easy. Prior Unity Garden. Right? Yeah, right there. Right? They teach you how to grow food. This is a great way to save money. And this connects you to the earth, which is grounding, which does what for your nervous system? Yes, it relaxes your nervous system. So there is 2 points on the bottom of your feet in Chinese medicine, kidney 1 points, right in the bottom of your feet. And when you connect those points to the earth, you absorb the energy that's resonating from the earth. Has anybody heard of the Schumann resonances? Yes. I mean, it took science to say, yes, there's a vibration in the earth that helps human beings. They feel healthier, they feel happier when they're connected. It took science to tell us that. But we knew it. The ancient people that have been here for thousands of years knew that when you're connected to the earth, you're feeling more balanced. You know exactly where you are. You know what you need to do. There's no question in your mind. You're like, of course I have to do this. Of course. There's no, what, should I do this? What should I do next, right? No, you just know. You know everything. Because human beings are between heaven and earth. Right? We have the energy of the earth, we have the energy of the entire universe, and we're between these two areas. So you absorb earth into your body through food, through the bottom of your feet. We absorb energy from the universe, right? It's funny, but eventually they'll come back and they'll say, oh, listen, yeah, we do have energy coming from the universe. You know, you don't really need to have testing go on for that. So when, right, we don't need to put stuff on our brain to be tested for that. So when I was growing up in Queens, New York, all of the immigrants had gardens. Every single, the Italian immigrant, the German immigrant, the Greeks around the block, they all had gardens. All of the Americans, lawns. Right? So they were smart. They knew you can't eat your lawn. Unless you get one of those little wheatgrass machines, right? You start putting your lawn in there. Right, so you're better off planting a garden. So we only have about 10 minutes left, so I want to show you some ancient healing exercises to help nourish the energetic body, right? So this is one way to nourish the body, through the digestive system. But I'm going to show you how to nourish the body through some ancient healing exercises. So this is yoga. Fantastic. How about we put that way? Energetic. That's bringing the energy right in here. So yoga, how many people do yoga? Fantastic. Yoga teacher over there in the corner. Right? Yoga nourishes traditionally the chakra system, which I'll talk about in a little while, which is the endocrine system. So it nourishes this system and it gets it balanced, right? This in the middle, this is Qigong. This is ancient healing exercise, and here's Tai Chi. So what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to stand up and do something called Do-In. Everybody's like, oh, don't make me stand up. Don't make me do it. Come on, sugar. Okay, so what we're going to do is you can see the pose, the Qigong pose. We're just going to raise your arms up, palms facing the ceiling, and just envision the entire universe, whatever that means to you, stars, planets, coming down in through your palms. right? Just envision that. And you may feel some heat coming into your palms. For those of you that are very, yeah, you feel it. For those of you that are very sensitive, you'll feel that. And at the same time, I want you to envision the bottom of your feet, right in the center of your foot. Energy coming up from the earth and energizing your body. And just close your eyes and just envision, yeah, of course, I'm a human. I'm in between heaven and earth. And this is where I'm getting some energy from. And take a deep breath. And pull your hands down. Nourish your lower dantian. It's the energy center. And I want you to take your left arm and stretch it out. And your right arm and stretch it out. And then I want you to put your fists into little balls, right? Not too tight. And I want you to go up your arm. We're stimulating your meridians. Has anybody ever seen an acupuncture chart? All those lines on your body? We now have scientific testing to prove that those lines are an actual reality. They really are highly energized areas on the body. So we're going to go to the other side. You're going to go up. You're going to come down. Right, you can do this about 3 times. And we're just stimulating your meridians. And then I want you to go down the outside of your thighs, gallbladder meridian. I want you to come inside of your thighs, spleen, stomach meridian, right here to your little gonads. Right? Don't hit them too hard. And we're going to do this one 3 times. And then when you come here, I want you to, again, here. Yeah. No orgasms in the front row. All right, now I want you to do your butt. Yes, I made the whole class beat their butts. And then we're going to go to our area right here below the belly. This is your lower dantian in Chinese medicine. It's a highly energized center. It's where our energy is stored. And you just want to stimulate it. And then put your hands flat. Stimulate the middle dantian. And then we're going to stimulate this in here like Tarzan. Ah! Right, that thymus area where your immune system was born. And then you can do the top of your shoulders. And the other side. And then we're going to seal in this energy. So once again, you go back up and feel. How many people are feeling heat and energy? Yeah, your entire meridian system has been stimulated. So to seal in this energy, again, from the universe, from the earth, and then turn to the person next to you and give them a hug. Give them and then go to the other side and give that person a hug. Okay. That's how you seal in energy, hugging. Okay, so take a little seat. So if you could do that in the morning, it's literally a 5-minute exercise. It's like having a cup of espresso. Really, try it for about a week. Yeah, so this is the chakra system I was talking about. So we know this system as the endocrine system, and according to modern science, this is a very mechanistic system. Oh, this hormone's talking to that hormone is talking to that, this is going to secrete that. The ancients knew it as the chakra system, and the chakra system was our connection to ourselves and our emotional connection to the world around us. So the hormones aren't just being released for no reason, right? We're having an emotional reaction, and that's what's causing this to trigger, right? So stress is high. Guess what's happening in 3rd and 2nd chakra, right? All stress hormone, you're having an emotional reaction. 2nd and 3rd chakra are actually being stimulated, sometimes overstimulated, which will lead to adrenal fatigue. right? Exhaustion, and it's an emotional exhaustion generally. An emotional, of course there's a physical exhaustion that happens because we reach out for specific foods to give us energy, but it starts in the emotional body. So here, this is about, we're talking about thyroid. So I'm going to go through a quickie of what the chakra system is because we only have like 2 minutes or 5 minutes. First chakra, this is your direct connection to the earth. This is also your connection to your family, right? So if there's any trouble with the family and you can't let go, 5 minutes, yeah, and you can't let go, constipation will come. This area won't be working well, colon cancer, and that's specifically to your family, the emotional connection to your family. And then you come up a little bit, second chakra. This is your emotional connection to your community and your significant others and your loved ones, right? So a lot of times, women or even men with reproductive cancers, it's directly connected to their relationship, whatever the relationship was. A bad relationship, can't let go of the relationship, don't have a relationship. Third chakra is your connection to yourself. Self-esteem, self-love, self-care. What you did today, coming to the Take Back Your Health conference, is highly energizing and supportive to your third chakra. Self-care, self-love. Fourth chakra, this is connection to compassion, love. Right, we all know this. Fifth chakra, this is your ability to express yourself in a healthy way. So if you're screaming and yelling at people and blaming them, you did this to me, I can't believe, this is going to damage this thyroid. Right? We look at it and we think, oh, it's just the thyroid gland. It's just responsible for this, that, and so many times when I see people with goiters, they haven't been able to express themselves. So what happens to the energy? It gets blocked up. Right? They haven't been able to express themselves healthfully. You saw a picture of my goiter, right? When I was growing up, I was a screamer. Screaming, you mother effer son. That was me. So if you ever see me with a goiter again, you know what happened. The sixth chakra, this is, remember I said pineal gland? According to the ancients, this is where wisdom lives. Right? So when you get yourself in harmony with your environment, through the foods that you're eating, through your connections, all that stuff, it makes your internal environment in harmony with the external environment, and more knowledge is available to you. More wisdom is available to you. You become in alignment, right? Wisdom, it's your wisdom chakra. Seventh chakra is the ability to know that everything is exactly the way that it's supposed to be. Whatever it is. GMOs, okay, that's the way it's supposed to be. Doesn't have to be a part of my life, but that's the way that it is right now, right? So this is the chakras and the endocrine system. So we're a physical body, you could see me, but we're also an emotional body, an energetic body. Human beings are multifaceted creatures, and we are amazing. We're amazing. And the same ability that's in me to heal a condition is in every single human being on the planet. I'm not an exception. My clients are not exceptions. Right? It's in every single human being in the planet. They could either have a physical healing, an emotional healing, a spiritual healing, an energetic healing. They may not get them all, but something. Once you make that conscious connection, this is me, I'm a human being, and I'm amazing. Right? So the thyroid is the ability to speak and express yourselves in a healthy way, both externally and internally. So I want you to just momentarily just take your hands, put them on your heart, and send yourself love right now. I love you. Thank you for taking care of me today. Inside, thank you. I can't be here without you. And just send yourself love and good thoughts. And then today, as you go about your business, be conscious of expressing yourself healthfully and happily to other people as well. And truthfully. This is your truth. Right? Your ability to express your truth. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for coming out today. And I want to thank you for sitting through my lecture and beating yourselves in the butt. That was really great. Thank you. Thank you. And I'll be available for questions. And also for you guys who know, there's some fabulous books out there in case you want to take a little piece home with you. And for anybody who is, I work with students and clients all over the world. And I have an online program that nourishes the thyroid, teaches about the endocrine system and the adrenals and the thyroid together. And for Take Back Your Health, you guys have a $200 discount. You would use, I think it's NTH Early Bird 200. So you guys can check that out and take all the paperwork and everything like that. And also connect with me on these little platforms. And enjoy the rest of the conference. I want to thank you guys again for coming out. Thank you and staying.